Hi guys, today is Thursday, December 10th, and here is your lesson for social studies. All right, let's dig in. Today's objective is that I can explain how supply and demand affects the price of goods or services. We did watch a brain pop on Monday that talked a little bit about it, but we have another one for today that's going to talk about supply and demand. Before we dig into that video, I just want you to look at these anchor charts because these are super important. We've got some vocabulary that you should know by now. And if you don't, that's okay, but I do want you to take some notes in your journal if you need to. So you need to know the difference between a good and a service. You need to know the difference between supply and demand. Now, scarce and um, abundance, those are words that we're going to talk about this coming week and then next week. So don't worry about those yet. And then increase and decrease, that kind of ties in with supply and demand. So we're going to learn those as well. So supply is how much of a good that is available, and the demand is how much of something that people want. So let's go ahead and watch this video from BrainPop.
Oh, cool. Gorilla Battle 3. Huh. Dear Tim and Moby, what is supply and demand? Does it affect me? From Kitty. You bet it affects you. The laws of supply and demand affect how much we pay for goods and services. Goods are material things like books, tennis rackets, bananas, cars, or even houses. Services are things that you need or want done, like car washing, tennis lessons, or house cleaning. No, being someone's friend isn't usually considered a service. Anyway, the price that you, the consumer, pay for a good or a service is determined by two things. First, there's supply. Basically, that's the amount there is of a good or service. On the flip side, there's demand. How much people want a product or service. Lots of things affect demand. Need for a product, quality of a product, even accessibility to the product. Well, take this video game. Factories aren't going to produce endless copies of games they can't sell. They'll only produce as many as the company thinks they can sell at a particular price. Let's say a producer decides he can sell his video game for $50 instead of $40. Well, he's going to start producing a whole lot more. Companies will generally produce more of a product if they think they can sell a lot of it at a higher price. That's the quantity supplied, how much of anything producers will sell at a particular price. But someone has to buy all those games that the companies are making, and people are generally going to buy more of something if it's cheap. When a product gets more expensive, the quantity demanded often decreases. In general, producers' desire to make money pushes prices up, and consumers' desire to save money pushes prices down. Actually, for any product on the market, there is a price where the quantity supplied is equal to the quantity demanded. That price is where the supply and demand curves intersect. When we're at this equilibrium point, all the video games produced get sold. Both the video game company and the consumers are happy. Now, say the video game wins an award and everyone wants to buy it. Two things happen. The demand becomes greater than the supply, and people are willing to pay a higher price for the same product. Since producers can sell more at a higher price, they'll usually increase the quantity supplied to reach the new equilibrium point. When the supply and demand balance out, we say that the market has cleared. Speaking of which, I got $19.99 burning a hole in my pocket. Well, now I know why it was marked down.
Okay, so today's activity is going to be in Schoology Social Studies Thursday. And then I want you to think of some items in our community with a high demand. Now, this is going to be super interesting to hear because I think Corona has affected our demand. So I'm curious to hear what items you think are in high demand, which means that people need these items. So go ahead and work on that today, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.